Hey guys, back with another video. Yesterday was auction day, it was Saturday. So I ended up driving to Plymouth, Indiana, which is about an hour and 20 minutes away from me or so. Specifically went to that auction due to the lack of pictures. Reading the description below the auction, it said the previous owner passed away. He was 94. And he had accumulated a lot of items through his lifetime. It kind of looked to me that it was going to be like a box lot auction, and sure enough, that's what it was. Pretty much, they went in the house and brought everything out in boxes and lined it up, and that's how they sold it. The gentleman did have 3 children, and they did go through the house and they took a lot of things that I would have bought. There was no jewelry, no watches. He was in the military. There's no military items. There was a lot of basically stuff that they thought was junk or not worth them keeping that they sold. I did find some pretty good things. Prices went a little bit higher than I thought. And then some things went way lower than I thought. And this will probably be a 2-part video. The second one will be more of the toys. A lot of the toys were broken. I did buy some broken toys. But I've told you guys in the past, still buy vintage broken toys. They still will bring money. People like to use them as parts or repair them. So this box was in another box on a hay trailer. And there's a couple rules at the auction if you're a bidder. First, you don't want to bring attention to the item. And so they were coming up to this box, and a guy I could tell was salivating over this box. And he had the auctioneer's assistant pull it out, which you normally don't want to do. You just want to, leave things anonymous and not bring attention to it. But he brought attention to it, wanted it sold separately. And then you also have the ringmen auctioneers, the helpers, will hype stuff up. So he looked in the box, and then, of course, he tried to hype it up, saying, look what's in here, these are awesome, which they are. And so it got more interest in the item. It was funny, the guy that requested it, his opening bid was $5, which was kind of a joke. And then surprisingly, he stopped at $25. Well, me and another guy bid it up to $65, and I ended up buying the box for $65. So this is what was in there. That's my bidder number. So this is what it looked like. There's more cards I'm going to show you. But all these cards were wrapped in rubber bands. And as you can see, there was quite a few cards wrapped up in the rubber bands. But these were non-sports cards. So just kind of give you an idea what was in here. But there's some more interesting items over here. Rent a broom. Obviously for a witch. There's here's a Wolfman's Barbershop. Again, I'm not exactly sure what these came from. But amazingly, you'll see these. There's a bunch of stickers, and what makes these cards valuable, what I'll show you, is a lot, these came from the 70's and 60's, and a lot of times, when you're a kid in that era, you get stickers and you use them. You put them on your bicycle or a wall or whatever. They get used, and then they get, then they're useless. But amazingly, all the stickers that were in here were complete. There's only 5 or 6 that were actually used. So I ended up having some sleeves, and I bought this binder today. But this is just an amazing score. Like I said, this was $65. And in here are 1960s and early 70s monster slash hot rod cards and motorcycle cards, all with like monsters and silly looking people on them. So this first series, these are called Uglies. And I think these are made by Topps or maybe Donruss. I'm not exactly sure, but these came out in 1965. So there's 4 sheets of these. And I did some research on these. I had never seen these before. These are before my time. So I could, never saw these in stores or anything like that. I was born in 1970. And so these came out before my time. So these are 1965, called Uglies. And you can see they're stickers. So for them to have survived all these years, it's pretty amazing. And these look to be worth at least $1 a piece, and they usually sell between $1 and $3 a piece. So then the second group we have here, these are called Silly Cycles. And I think these are made either by Donruss or Topps. I'm not exactly sure which company made these. I think these came out in 1972. And again, these are also worth about $1 to a couple dollars a piece. So as you can see, there's just a ton of these cards. I think there's around 400 or so total. So these are all the Silly Cycles. One of my most popular videos was about sports cards. So hope you guys that enjoyed the sports card video will enjoy the non-sports. As you can see, these are all stickers. So for them to survive and not get stuck on something all these years is just amazing. So these are more of the Silly Cycles. And then this next series, I think they're called Fiends Machines. So these were kind of, you use 2 cards to make a scene, and you use the monster head for the top of the your little scene, and then you'd use the car as the bottom of the picture. So these are all, monsters. And I'm not sure if these are 71 or 72. Again, these are called Fiends Machines. And then here's a car you'd stick it. You'd peel this off and then peel this off and stick this onto this. So there's some more of the machines. All the 70s and late 60s muscle cars. And these actually look to be more valuable, the most valuable of the group, the Fiends Machines. Some of these sell for, I saw $20 for 1 card. So, but generally these look to be worth probably about $6 if you consider shipping. They look to sell between $3 and $4 a card, and they're asking $3 for shipping. So people are willing to pay, $7 to get one of these. So again, these are the Fiends and Machines. All you guys that love muscle cars, you're probably drooling over this. Definitely that crazy 70s and 60s art. Another cool page of all the machines, hot rods. And then I think this starts the next series. These are called odd rods. So these are just like the combination all on one card, the the creature in the vehicle. And these look to be worth at least $1 a piece. And they're in really nice shape. They're not exactly mint, but I would say they're near mint. And surprisingly, they were held in that box through all those years in the rubber band around them, and they didn't really leave any rubber band marks on them. So these are all the odd rods. Again, most all these are also stickers. So for them to survive not being used, it's pretty remarkable. And there are a lot of doubles. I don't have any complete sets. I think the Silly Cycles, like 8 away from being a complete set. People asking $400 and $500 for complete sets. As you can see, has a few more pages to go. But these are the odd rods. And I think these are from 70 or 71. The first series of the odd rods, I think, started in 1969. And from the pictures, they don't match these, I don't think. So I think this is like Series 2 or Series 3. But all my years of going to auctions, I've never even come across one of these cards. Not to mention to come across, 400. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, it was worth the drive to Plymouth, Indiana. This was not pictured. It just happened to be there. And lucky for me, the guy stopped at $60. I went to 65 and won it. I didn't really realize the value of these until I got home and did some research. When you're at the auction, you do kind of a quick search, and I didn't exactly know what these were called, so I type in monster cards 70s, and I found some that were kind of like it, but they weren't the exact same thing. And I saw them selling for $5 for 10 of them or whatever. But I didn't actually find the exact match. And then when I got home and did further research to see, these are worth at least $1 a piece, if not up to $5, $6 a piece. So yeah, I would have been upset if I would have stopped at, $65, $70, $80. And then, I come home and realize, I missed out on this box booklet here is probably $800 worth or so. So this will be part 1. I'll probably shoot part 2 tomorrow or the next day. And those will be all the vintage toys I got there. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one.